Hello, I'm Deb Knight. Welcome to A Current Affair. I'm so sorry. Telling words from the new boss of the country's second largest telco, Optus. CEO Stephen Roux revealing the tragic news just over an hour ago that 3 people had died as a result of an outage yesterday when hundreds of people could not get through to 000.
I have been advised that during the process of conducting welfare checks, 3 of the 000 calls involved households where a person tragically passed away. Please know that these welfare checks are ongoing.
He has confirmed the technical fault has now been fixed. Little comfort to the families of those who've died. We have contacted Optus, the telecommunications ombudsman. Neither are available. But with us now is Justin Quill, partner at major law firm Thompson Gear. Justin, this happened during a network upgrade yesterday. 3 people have died not being able to get through to 000. There was 1 person in WA, 2 in South Australia, and 600 people impacted all up. How could this have even happened?
Well, look, that's the question that many people are going to be asking. Of course, ACMA will be asking, the telecommunications ombudsman will be asking that question, potentially a number of judges in due course, but most importantly and tragically, there's going to be 3 families in particular who are going to be scratching their heads and asking that question. Look, I don't know the answer, and it's a terrible situation.
And the Optus CEO didn't have a lot of answers either, revealing that the report will be made public. But he did apologise. But not even the telecommunications ombudsman was aware of this news before he stood up just before 6 o'clock this evening. Is that good enough, Justin?
Yeah, look, it does beg the question, doesn't it? After 5:30 on a Friday night, it's preliminary final weekend in Melbourne for the, it does beg the question, was part of the timing of the press conference media management? Now, if that was the case, that's obviously concerning. We don't know that it was, but look, I would have liked to have thought we would have and could have and should have known about this sooner than we did.
Yeah, and sources are saying too that the communications minister was only made aware of this not too long before the press conference too. Optus, of course, has form on this. The telco apologised for the 000 outages when the network went down right across the country 2 years ago in 2023. They promised then that this would never happen again. They copped a $12 million fine from the communications watchdog. Do you think that there is legal recourse as a result of this?
Oh, look, absolutely. We saw the $12 million fine in that case. I think that affected 2,000 people. This was less people, only 600 as I understand it. But it's, if you like, a second offence, only 2 years later, and as part of an upgrade. So there was obviously some work being done that caused this outage. So all of those factors, together with the most obvious factor, the tragic death of 3 people, I think we'll see the fine much higher than 12 million, even though, as I say, it affected 600 people instead of 2,000 as it did in 2023. So, yeah, there is legal recourse and we'll see a larger fine this time, in my view. We might also see civil action by the families of those 3 tragic victims.
And after last time Optus said that this would never happen again, what does this do to the Optus brand?
Well, look, I think the size of the fine, the way in which they handle it, the way in which they are transparent or not with the public, the releasing of that report will be part of it. How they handle any lawsuits that come, and all of that will answer that question, and ultimately, really, only time will tell what it will do to their brand, but obviously it's not going to be good for it.
Yeah. Justin, we thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thanks, Deb.
And our hearts go out to the families of the 3 victims affected.